Hello everyone, my name is Lawrence and thank you for watching once again my channel, a channel that talks about investing in East African stock market and also other markets, and also talks about financial independence and also how you can save and retire early. Today I'm going to be discussing about a topic that has been requested several times, that is comparing the stock exchanges in East Africa, because I've been asked which exchange can I invest in East Africa. Is it Kenya? Is it Uganda? Is it Dar es Salaam Stock Exchange? So today I've compiled 5 points which I'm going to use to compare the 3 main stock exchanges in East Africa. So let us begin. Number 1 is the number of companies that are listed on each of the exchanges in Eastern Africa. Nairobi Stock Exchange has 65 companies, while Uganda Stock Exchange has 17 companies listed, and Dar es Salaam Stock Exchange has 28 companies. So the question will be, does the number of companies listed on exchange matter? I will answer it. It's very, very important, because the more companies that are listed on exchange, the more chances you have for the best companies or the fundamentally sound companies. Actually, something to note about the 3 exchanges. Mainly, if you go to Kenya Stock Exchange, most of the other exchange, the companies which are listed on exchange actually are cross-listed from Kenya. For example, Uganda has 8 companies that are cross-listed from Kenya. When you go to Dar es Salaam, it has 7 companies that are cross-listed from Kenya. So mainly we see half of other exchanges have Kenyan companies. So when it comes to companies, Kenya Stock Exchange is ahead of their peers in terms of many companies. So which means Nairobi Stock Exchange has more companies that you can search and research to find the best companies. So now that's one. Second is about taxes. So for any investors who is willing to invest in any country, the first thing you will have to research about is taxation regime of the country and the department or the field that he's trying to invest in. So when it comes to East African exchanges, actually they only tax dividends, they don't tax capital gains tax. So the 2 exchanges, that is Uganda and the Dar es Salaam Stock Exchange, they tax 10% of the dividends, while Nairobi Stock Exchange, it taxes 5% of the dividends. So you can see there is a difference of 5% from Kenyan Securities Exchange compared to the list of the 2. So when it comes to the taxation, you can see Nairobi Securities Exchange is the favorable companies to invest in. So number 3 point that is very, very important when you're trying to secure which exchange you should invest in is about liquidity. Liquidity in our discussion is going to mean how shares move on stock exchange, or how many shares are traded daily on each exchange. So when it comes to that, Nairobi Securities Exchange trades more shares, or more shares are bought and sold on Nairobi Securities Exchange compared to the rest of other securities exchange. So how does liquidity or movement of shares on each stock exchange matter? The thing is very simple, because for example, on each, when most of the people who invest on security exchange, their main aim is that in case they need their money back, in case they need capital, or in case they need to sell their shares, they should be able to sell their shares as soon as possible. So that's how liquidity comes in. For example, when it comes to Uganda Security Exchange, there are very few companies that do actually where the movement of shares are. For example, in maybe Stanbic Bank is the one that mainly does has more activity. But the rest of the companies, it takes few days or even in one day. There's small movement of shares. But when it comes to Kenyan stock market, you'll find when it comes to Safaricom, when it comes to Equity, when it comes to Stanbic Bank, most of the companies on Kenya, half of them actually, they are very liquid. You can buy them in one day, you can sell them in one day. So how it is important, it's because you can sell anytime and you can buy anytime you need to sell or buy. That's how it's very important when it comes to liquidity. Number 4, the most important of mine when I'm considering to invest in stock exchange is trading platforms. So mainly when you're registered with an investment bank or a broker, there are 3 ways on how you can buy or sell shares on stock exchange. Number 1 is you can directly go to the broker's office and fill in a form of buying or selling your shares and give it to the broker to do the rest for you. Second is you can write an email to your broker instructing them to sell or buy shares of the company that you're interested in. Thirdly, you can also use online trading platform when you're registered with trading platform with your brokerage firm. So you can either use your phone, your computer without contacting your broker, as long as you have money on your CDS account. So this is very important, because most of the people there mobile, they don't live in cities where most of their brokerage companies are. So when you're trying to buy or sell, or you want to invest in a securities exchange, it's very important to consider this point, because all the time will not always be in the city where your brokerage firm is. So only Kenya has online trading platform. The rest, they have 2. You can write to the broker or you can go to the brokerage office, but Nairobi Securities Exchange has the online trading platform. So when it comes to trading platforms, Kenya is far ahead of the rest of the stock exchanges. So actually, let me go ahead and discuss about the trading platform. Well, trading platform is very important, and also in Kenya, not every brokerage firm has online trading platform. So if you want to invest in shares, you have to ask your company if they have online trading platform. If they don't have, you can go ahead and research about which company have online trading platform. The trading platform, the reason why I'm insisting on this, it's because most of us, for example, if you're in Uganda, if you're in Tanzania, if you're in Rwanda, you can invest in Nairobi Securities Exchange. Even if you're from any other country, you can invest in Nairobi Securities Exchange. So what will make things easy is when you have the online trading platform. Myself, I have invested in the Kenya stock market, but I don't live in Nairobi, or I don't live in Kenya. So what I do, I just have to put my money on my CDS account, and also can be able to trade using my computer or my phone when I'm outside Kenya. So that's how online trading platform is very important. So number 5, and very also important, is diversification, and also how many blue chip companies are on the stock exchange. So blue chip companies actually mainly they are just the companies that have consistently performed well, and also be it during the recession or better economies. So diversification and blue chip companies, they are very important while trying to consider which companies to invest in. So I'm going to talk about diversification mostly because it's one of very, very important things that you should consider when you're trying to invest in a company. So actually diversification may mean a lot of things to different people, but for this topic, diversification is going to mean like the companies that have invested in different countries of East Africa. So I'm going to give you an example of companies that have diversified their operations in East Africa. For example, KCB Bank, they have over 7 countries that they have invested in. They have invested in Uganda, or in fact all the East African countries, Burundi, Rwanda, Tanzania, Southern Sudan, and also they have also a representative office in Ethiopia. Probably when Ethiopia opens their operations to the banking sector, I'm sure they will also try out. So for example, KCB. So if you are buying shares of KCB, you literally doing business in every part of East Africa. Let's go to also Equity. Equity actually has gone even beyond East Africa. It is in Congo now. It has bought 69% of some bank in Congo. They also have some operations in Malawi. So they have diversified also their operations. So when you own Equity, it means you own more than East African company, but you own almost an African bank. So let's go to Centum. Centum also is it has Uganda operations. It also has now Kenyan operations. Let's go to Britam Insurance Company. It has also East Africa. It has Rwanda. It has Kenya. It has TZ. Let's go to the Breweries Limited. East African Breweries Limited. You'll find it in Tanzania. You'll find it in Uganda. So for example, how does the diversification help? We shall take, for example, of course, different economies perform differently. For example, if in Uganda, sometimes there is a political uncertainty in Uganda and the companies are not doing fine, in Kenya, things will be better, or in Rwanda. So that's how. So if one economy is not doing fine, another company will be able to cover the losses or the unprofitability. That's how important diversification is. But when you go to Uganda or Tanzanian companies, it's very hard. Actually, I know companies listed on Ugandan exchange that are also in other countries. When you also go to Dar es Salaam, the same thing. There are no Dar es Salaam listed companies that are also on Kenyan Stock Exchange. That's how Nairobi Stock Exchange is better when it comes to diversification. So those were my 5 points that I used to compare the stock exchange. So as you can see, Kenya is far better than the rest of other securities exchange in terms of those 5 points that I have used too. Let me know what you think about, or which one is the best for you. And also, please, if you like my content, don't forget to subscribe and also hit the bell notification, that in case I produce another video, you'll be able to be notified. Once again, thank you for watching. Have a good day. Bye bye.